Hi, I'm Mo. I am a newbie cash stuffer. I normally reside at over 6,000 feet, but this week I find myself in the wilderness of Pennsylvania. But nevertheless, this is still the mountain budget. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my cash stuffing, and just in case you were curious, the way that this cash stuffing experience has been going while I've been traveling, because if you've been watching my last few videos, I am not at home. I've been on the road with only a very small portion of my cash stuffing repertoire with me, or arsenal, not repertoire. Anyway, the way it's been going is I actually do a lot of transactions on my card, and then I just take the cash out, I put it into my cash bag. And as it so happens that my budget has been, I don't know, it's just worked out where I haven't had to go to the bank yet, which has been nice because I don't think that there is a bank or even an ATM within 100 miles of me. So yeah, this week I might be relying heavily on cash though, just because I am in such a rural area. Anyway, all that to say, let's go ahead and get started with today's cash stuffing. I'm gonna go ahead and count the cash first. We are aiming for 475. Let's see if I did it right. And also let's see if I'm on screen. I am, that's great, okay. So we have 100 and we dropped it, that's good. 51.50. 2, 4, 6. No, 8, 100, 2, 4, 6, 8, 200, exactly in 20s it seems. 10, 20, I think we're gonna have it. I think we've got it. And then a 5. Oh, 475, is that not what I said? I think it is. Excellent. All right, let's turn that off. Nope, that's the Bluetooth mode. Okay, that is turned off. And I do apologize for this setup. I am on a little side table at the Airbnb. And also I apologize if it seems like I'm trying to go quickly. And it's because I am, because I'm the first to arrive at the Airbnb. And the people that I'm sharing the Airbnb with, they don't know I have a cash stuffing YouTube channel. So I'm trying to get this done on the down low, done really quickly. And also I don't want them thinking that I've holed up in the best room in the Airbnb. I want to save that for the person who's hosting this weekend. So I need to get in and get out. Okay, so with all of that to say, let's go ahead and go into the wallet, and I'm going to try and make sure that I'm on screen. Maybe I'll just kind of stand up for this video. I don't have any change for this week, which is too bad because I really did want to try and move change from my wallet into my savings challenges, but I've been in Newport for the past week and it's just an expensive town. And I spent all my spending money, I spent all my grocery money, eating out money, everything. So it is what it is, but I still have $50 in miscellaneous. I did not spend that. I'm actually not putting anything in groceries, and that's because before I came to the Airbnb, I went to the grocery store and I had $100 in general, like set aside for this week specifically for groceries because I was going to be in an Airbnb. And I decided instead of, waiting to film this video, cash stuffing $100, driving back to the grocery store, etc., I just went ahead and went to the grocery store and I used my card, and I was almost exactly on budget. I spent like $110 or something like that. So groceries has technically been stuffed and then spent, but this week it was meant to get $100. Okay, spending. It's time to actually look at my sheet now. Spending is getting a 20 for this week. I'm actually going to really try and challenge myself not to spend this though. I'm held up in an Airbnb with some friends who are writers, and I'm really hoping that I kind of just don't leave here for the next 5 days. I'm sure I'll get cabin fever, but I would rather just hunker down and focus on working on our books rather than like going out and spending money. So my goal this week is to not spend this. Eating out is not getting anything this week because, like I just said, I'm hoping to stay in the whole time. Household has been a little abandoned this month, but now that we're in June, my move in the mountains, I'm staying in the same area in the mountains. I'm just moving into a larger apartment. My move is upon me And so I'm going to start saving up for that move, and I'm going to give myself $25 to put into household. So that way, if I need to buy boxes or scotch tape or toilet paper for my new apartment, anything like that, we have initial $25, and I'll do another $25 next week, hopefully, etc. So that I should have about $100 saved up by the time I get back to the mountains. Miscellaneous isn't getting anything because it still has its 50, so we're just going to keep that as it is. That is my wallet for the week, and we are actually going to do the giving binder first, so let's move into that. All right. Oh, I don't think this is gonna fully show up on screen. Let me see if I can do a little bit of shifting around. There we go, but that doesn't look very nice, does it? I'll cover up that little bit of the computer too, so that's good. And then I know none of this really matters, but oh, there we go. That's a nice little site. Okay. So philanthropy is today's like June 2nd. I did all of my bank related stuff yesterday on June 1st. Philanthropy always gets fully funded at the start of the month. I did all of that yesterday. And I just do all of that in the bank because I put so much money into philanthropy every month that I just like to keep it in the bank, and then I update the placeholders, and I also update a sheet on my computer to tell me how much I have assigned for philanthropy in my bank account. The Project for Awesome is getting its full funding for the month right now, and it is getting $50. So now the Project for Awesome has 50, 70, 90, 110, 120, 130, 140, $140 for the Project for Awesome, which shouldn't be until next January. So we are on track to have a pretty penny to spend on that charity event. Ooh, standing up while doing this hurts my shoulders, but it's the only way I can know for sure that I'm in frame. Okay, Tips is getting quite a bit this week. Tips is getting $100, and it's getting it all in 20s. And the reason for that is because of my move. I'm going to have movers, I'm going to have painters, I'm having people come for junk removal. I'm just going to have a lot of people coming to my house, furniture delivery, and, you know, I want to tip the delivery drivers and everything like that. And I have a set amount that I would like to have by the end of the month. And so similar to household in my wallet, I'm trying to get a jump start on that so it doesn't come by surprise. So let's count, make sure I counted that right. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, all in 20s for tips. I don't expect to be using that this week. I don't think I'm going to go out, have any waiters or other service workers that I'm going to need to tip. This is meant to be for my movers in a month. Coffee, I actually didn't budget anything for coffee this week because I have not spent at indie coffee shops the past couple of weeks. So I already have $40. And like I said, I don't suspect I'm going to be going out and about this week. Next week, however, when we are meeting up with even more writers in a different Airbnb, I think we're going to be a little closer to civilization, and so I will be probably spending that money next week. All right. Gifts of Kindness is getting $50. And it has $50, $70, $80 in it, which I feel really good about because it got completely drained a few weeks ago, which stresses me out anytime my gifts of kindness is drained, and $80 is such a solid chunk. Although I've been having this thought in terms of who I am as a budgeter. A lot of times, like, I'll let gifts of kindness build up, and then when an instance happens where I need to give somebody a gift of kindness, my kind of go-to example is if somebody's pet dies and I'll send them flowers. I have this kind of habit of spending everything that's in gifts of kindness on one person. And I think I might institute a rule that, especially in these folders where I like to just always have a backlog just in case, I always want to have something. I might start instituting a rule where no one purchase can be more than 25% of what is in the envelope, because then that means theoretically I will always have roughly 4 instances in which I can use it up, and very, very rarely should I ever go over that. Anyway, I don't know if that made sense. but this is me trying to rein myself in, which is something I'm always trying to do. Let's be so for real. Okay, that's kindness. Books is getting a big one. Books is getting $100 this week, and that is because, as I've been saying for weeks now, I plan on spending all of this to buy copies of my best friend's debut novel that is releasing very, very soon, and either buy copies of her book or buy books at the bookstore that's hosting her book event to support them, or other indie bookstores that we go to. So it's getting $100 this week. And also, I'm realizing that I might have miscalculated because what I have in here is not matching what I have on my records. I noticed that yesterday. There's a $100 placeholder missing. So right now in the envelope, it says we have $100 in the bank, $200, $250, $350. Wait, that's not right. Sorry. $100 in the bank, $200, $250, $300, $320, $40, $60, $80, $390, $395, $396, $397, $398, $398. I believe I actually have $498 saved up, but I'm going to just confirm with my records, see if it makes sense. And if so, that is such a slay, because like having almost $500, I can buy so many copies of her book. I mean, let's see. Okay, it's like a paperback. I'm going to like die. Hello. Oh no, did it die? It died when I said I was going to die. Okay, so 500. And then let's just say, even though it's a paperback, let's just say it's at $20 a pop. I can buy 25 copies of her book. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna do it, because when my book came out, she bought just as many, if not more, and my book was a hardcover. So, you know, that was an investment on her part. Okay, patronage for art isn't getting anything this week. Neither are sibling gifts, but miscellaneous celebration, I'm giving 50, and I think, and that's all it has. And I think miscellaneous celebration is going to be another envelope that I institute a 25% at a time rule for, because I just tend to go so overboard here. Like with wedding gifts, you know, I'll save up, have several $100s in this envelope, and then a wedding happens, and I'm like, oh, I'll just give all of this to the wedding. And then 2 weeks later, I get invited to a graduation, and I'm like, well, shoot. So that's why I'm thinking about instituting that rule. All right, and as you can see, we don't have much left to do, but there are a couple. And just as a reminder, because I'm traveling, I went through all of my binders and I took out any envelope that I felt was relevant outside of my giving binder, just because these are always relevant to me. I'm always going to want these on hand, so that's why I brought this giving binder specifically. But this binder is a Frankenstein of all my other binders, full of envelopes that I thought might be relevant to me on this month-long road trip that I'm on. Vacation, I'm just tracking my expenses in this one. I am not stuffing it. Vehicle maintenance, ooh, that's interesting. So I forgot I had money in here. That's really funny. I'm actually gonna take $20 out, and I'm gonna put this in my savings challenge. And I'm pretty sure that's not how that works, but whatever, I'm doing it. There we go, I had $20 for savings challenges. And because I spent on my credit card today, I got my vehicle wash, which is hilarious, because I did not know that I was then going to be driving for an hour on dirt roads. But I was. So my vehicle is once again dirty, and that is fine. But the inside is nice and vacuumed, so that's good. But it was $17. So I'm going to take $20 from vehicle maintenance and put it into my savings challenge. And vehicle maintenance this week I did have listed as getting what? Oh, goodness. I have it listed as getting 50. My Mo. That's quite generous. Okay. I'm not sure why. I'm going to have to lay off in the next couple weeks, I think. Anyway, vehicle maintenance currently has $20, $40, $60, $70, and $80 in it. I will say the one kind of sad thing about doing all of this on the road stuff is that it kind of takes away my need to condense. It's been a long time since I've done a good condensing, and I'm really sad. I'm craving a condensing. Souvenirs is empty. I spent my souvenir money in Newport, and I'm done. Activities is not empty, but it is not getting anything this week. It currently has it has $100 in it. So I'm just gonna keep that as it is, and in the on the off chance, not even the off chance, but in the case that my friends and I decide to go bowling or go do some kind of fun activity, I have some cash for it. You guys, my coup de coeur is empty. It is empty and I owe money on it. Because when I was in Newport, I found a beautiful, beautiful thing that made me go, and I thought about it, weighed my pros and cons, and that's what the coup de coeur is for. And I obviously spent more than I had because this had to get drained to pay for the emergency event that happened a little while ago. But I theoretically am getting paid back for that very soon, getting reimbursed, I should say. And so I kind of was like fudged it a little bit. I was like, oh, well, I'll just pay myself back through that. But anyway, coup de coeur is at 0 for now and will likely remain at 0 for a while as I kind of pay it back. So, but yes, I have found a beautiful, beautiful piece of love and life that has entered into my wardrobe, and I'm very thrilled with it. All right, Father's Day is fully funded. Oh, am I giving anything to 4th of July? I am. Pardon. Everything's just a little out of order. Yeah, okay. 4th of July is getting 20. And it has 20, 40, and 60. And I'm getting close to feeling comfortable with how much this has, so that way I can do something fun on the 4th. And then Renaissance Fair, which I believe is our last envelope of the day, is getting $10 this week. And that brings this envelope to $50, $70, $90, $110, $120, $120 for the Ren Fair, which means I'm almost halfway to fully funded for this envelope, which is exciting because the Ren Fair is almost open. In fact, it might already be open. I don't know. I need to check. I'll check when I get back to the mountains. It's kind of irrelevant right now. And then emergency is fully funded. And there we go. I can sit down now. If you made it this far into the video, oh gosh, I haven't thought. Oh, you know what? Give me a little car or vehicle or some form of road motor emoji, just because I've been on the, you guys, I have driven so many thousands of miles since May 20th. It's been a lot, but it's also been incredible. This is such a beautiful country. Every state I have driven through is stunning in its own beautiful, special way. And I just feel so lucky to live here and get to experience it and have the freedom to be able to go wherever I want. And I don't know. Memorial Day was last week. I don't know why I'm being all like, yay, freedom right now. But you know what? It's something I can say all the time. So I'll just say that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. This has been The Mountain Budget. I'm Mo, and now I have to go. But I so appreciate you more than you know. Bye.